Hey, 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 hey! What's happening, my good people? How y'all doing out there this evening? That's right, it's the evening time. I hope y'all have a little after work perk, chilling at home, relaxing, doing what we always do when we get off work. Eat some popcorn or drink some water or read a good book. Well, in the case of the Rivers Design Team Hair Salon, we have about 15 more minutes before my next guest pops up. And so I decided to take a few minutes to pop on and come on live and talk to you guys about the wonderful event that's coming up on Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday, February the 9th. It's going down at Barber Hair Institute in Mayfield, Ohio. Is that Lyndhurst? I'm sorry. Or is it Mayfield, Ohio? Somewhere up there, all the way going east. So we are going to have a wonderful time. We're going to be giving away combs to the wonderful, wonderful students attending the Shaw High School Cosmetology program, and we're going to be introducing how to use the right comb. Now, I know a bunch of you are probably wondering, why is that so important, LaDosha? I mean, it's just it's just barbering education. It's just cosmetology. No, we want to offer the students the very best that education has to offer, because I have what we call real hair on real people in real life. So in real life, it is very, very imperative that all your beauty and barber professionals come out into the world of work with the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques, so that we can service you guys to the best of our ability to ensure that you are going to have the very best salon and barber experience ever. And you know what? You can't always have that when you walk into a barbershop or a hair salon and you got hair like this. You see what I'm saying? You got hair like this and nobody knows what to do with it, So currently, as it stands in the United States, you have a lot of separatism going on in the beauty industry and the barber industry, where if you don't know how to do this hair, you just send them out the door and say, I'm sorry, we don't do that kind of hair. But, you don't see, people going to the doctor like, sorry, we don't do that kind of fat. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because the medical community is prepared to work with all of the people who come into the medical community and be serviced regardless what the hair look like, how much fat they have on them, how much money they have. They can, provide the service. Well, you know what? We want to do the same thing in the beauty industry. We don't want it to be that only a black person or a white person who got black friends, or a Latino person, or an Arab person, you see what I'm saying, with this kind of hair knows how to do it. No, what we want to do is to raise the bar, raise the standard of education in barbering and cosmetology, where no matter what color of skin you have, no matter what racial, background you say you're from, no matter what your nationality, your ethnicity is, what hood you represent, it don't really matter. We want everybody to know, how do you comb out this type of hair? Now, we got a couple of challenges in our beauty and barber industry that we are taking the initiative to change ourselves. Now, when you get my book, that book right there, okay? What's up, everybody in the chat? How y'all doing? When you get this book right there, I have a chapter that's really dedicated to the education of cosmetology. And I did a lot of research. Now, when I go live tomorrow, I'm going to open up that chapter and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about who sets the standard of education in barbering and cosmetology. Because one of the things we know for sure is that typically when you go to a cosmetology school, you're going to get a mannequin that looks like this. So the hair is already straightened. And so the concept behind this is that, all hair is cut straight. All hair is colored straight. All hair is styled. It's going to somehow end up stretching out the fabric, and you're going to end up softening the fabric to do something like this in some capacity. Well, obviously, the people who wrote the cosmetology curriculum did not consider these people. And so now what's happening is people with this kind of hair are now considered what they call the natural hair people. And so the natural hair people almost always have skin that looks like this, when we know that this texture of hair is on people with all different types of complexions. So our goal is, of course, is to change this ourselves, okay? And then number two, we also want to provide the education. We want to be on the post that students, we've been saying this all the time, and I'm saying we because I went to cosmetology school as well, and I remember being so disappointed that there was no textured hair mannequins and there was no room for discussion. I know y'all might find that hard to believe, but there was no such thing. And if it was, can you imagine how much that would have cost, even on a synthetic note, okay? So this is not real human hair. This is all, fluffed, all made up here. So they're trying to simulate, what Afro hair can and cannot look like, okay? Kendra, here comes what you call it. All right, and so now we're starting to see that people with this texture of hair, they're tired of being, forced to do this to their hair. They're tired of, just trying to make their hair do something that they really don't want it to do, because the standard of beauty is now changing. However, again, in the Beauty and Barber, educational, platform, it's not, we're not there yet. So we need to change that. And so one of the problems is that when you have textured hair like this, when we are going to cut hair, we get certain tools in our kits. I'm gonna just swing over here and pull up some of the stuff that comes in our kit. So you get what's called a Beauty and Barber kit, And so the kit comes with all kinds of stuff. You got a mannequin, nail polish, files, that's for hairstylists, combs, curling irons, rollers, all types of, hair stuff, okay? And then if you're a barber, you're gonna get like the mannequin, you got your clippers, you got your combs, your brushes, and all of that. But typically, these are only the types of combs that's gonna come in our kit. So we have what's called like an all-purpose or a barbering or cutting comb, okay? Barbers may have the tapering comb, okay? They may also have a cutting comb to help, cut the sides or do a high top, kind of shape up. So you have all these types of combs. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, some barber schools, they offer a pick. And then sometimes they'll throw in, maybe, just maybe, they might throw in a comb out comb, okay? But typically that's about all we have. Oh, I'm sorry, we do get the rat tail combs, okay? Let me get one of those, okay? So sometimes we'll get these in the kit, all right? Not this kind. So you get where I'm going. So you get your brush, your combs. And so the problem is, again, is that if you are coming in with hair like this, then those combs won't work. So now what's going to happen is you're going to have a group of professionals who are licensed, okay? And now they're going out into the world of work. And when this walks through the door, a couple of things will happen. Either number one, sorry, we can't do you, okay? That's one. Or, let's cut it down real low. That one, okay? What about the god-awful thinning shears? So sometimes they'll put thinning shears and try to debulk it and all that. And then last but not least, we know that they may ask you to alter it with a chemical. Now remember, this is the new millennium official. We are in 2021, and people are like, we don't want that anymore, okay? So now we have the hair, but we still have a little bit of a problem, okay? So the problem is we have the wrong combs, okay? So anybody in the chat, that grew up in America, y'all know these were about the only combs that we had available for this type of hair and tighter. Okay. Now, depending on what community you're from, we would have considered this good hair. You know what I'm saying? But if the hair was short, it was really tight, you know, it didn't matter. You know, this is the hair that we had, and you know, shorter, tighter, curlier, longer, whatever. We almost always had this comb. And if you was broke, you used the fork. Okay, I know, because I used the fork on my hair once. Okay, so because we didn't have combs. Now, a lot of people think, are you serious, Brenda? You remember my hair when I was a kid, and these were the only combs that we had. And as you can see, this is what Afro hair will do to these combs. They will eventually bend and snap the teeth, and then you know what's going to happen. Now it's really going to hurt when you get your hair combed out. So that's what we had. So now we progressed along, and then you had some people who came along, and then they started to invent these wider tooth combs, okay? Now, the wider tooth combs are something that I would say, hypothetically speaking, or maybe some people might even say in theory, this seems like it's really going to work. But in real life, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because the teeth are too short and the teeth are too wide. So if you have very long, heaven forbid you had this much texture and the hair was down to here, like my hair. My hair was like Shaka Khan on steroids, okay? Oh, y'all just don't know. And then I had major shrinkage, okay? So, and then you had some textures that were really tight, like LeVar Burton's character, Kuta Kente. So texture hair comes in so many forms that no two heads of hair are alike. And that's on any texture, be it straight, curly, coily, or wavy. No two heads of hair are alike. But for those of us who had any degree of this type of a texture, we just didn't have a really good comb. And so now you're talking about an educational system that's really not addressing this. They think they're addressing it by saying, by putting words on it like ethnic, you know, people of color, Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latina, Afro-Hispanic. So they think if they put these words on it, that somehow they're solving the problem of the reality that we still don't have a comb, okay? And we still really didn't have these mannequins. And even this, again, is racist, okay? Because remember, all people with textured hair are not this color, all right? But that's a whole nother, I'm gonna get to that on another go live, all right? And so now we have this dilemma with the combs. Now, when I go to the barber school on Tuesday, February the 9th at 1 o'clock, we're going to go live. And it's going to be a true program. Now, I want everyone on the feed, if you know any barber, any cosmetologist, especially one that's in school or aspiring to be one, maybe they're at home in the kitchen, whatever, you know, whatever, make sure you share this video with them so that they can watch it too. It's free, you know. We're also going to be on Instagram for a little bit because Instagram ain't going to let you go this long, all right? And so we want you guys to see this demonstration where we are going to introduce these students to how to use the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques. And so we can already see that this is a challenge. So if you have hair that thick and your teeth, let's put them all together. So these teeth are almost as long, but look at the design. I mean, whoever designed this is not designed by a person with afro. Okay, maybe wavy, maybe a slight movement, but if you got some frizz, this is not going to work because when you go to comb it, that hair is going to do what? Bunch up and get caught in there. So sometimes they talk about this stuff like I'm talking about it on the feed, but they have yet to really put it to use because what the manufacturer doesn't understand is that a person with afro hair will buy this comb and really thinking that it's going to do something with all these different lengths because technically hair fibers are not all the same length. So they might they'll get the consumer with this. But in the end, they'll walk into a barbershop or a hair salon and the hair will be ripped. That's one. Now remember, the cosmetologist, the barber, and the customer are one and the same. So if you guys are using this tool, that means who else are using it? The beauty and barber industry. And this, I'm not saying this is a bad comb. I'm just saying it's not the comb for what people are using it for. And let's just be honest, the beauty and barber industry does take its cue from the community. So the community can bring this in and show it, someone at home, and the stylist can bring it to work, or someone can just, indirectly ill-inform that professional that this is the right comb for Afro hair. This can't never be the right comb for Afro hair when it comes to detangling it, okay? So that's that. Now you have your wider tooth combs. These became really popular like in the late 80s and the 90s up until like an hour ago, or really a minute ago. So these are absolutely the worst combs for Afro hair for the same reason that this one is. The teeth are too short, the teeth are too wide, and the teeth are all the same length, and the teeth go straight across. So whose hair might this be for? People with straight hair, okay? So people with Afro textured hair, they'll use this because you know what? It's all they have to use. But what's gonna happen in real life is eventually they're gonna see their texture starts to go away, and they're not understanding, why am I losing my texture? Why is my hair getting shorter? Men, why is my hair getting thinner? Why is my hairline, receding? Why is it going back? Because you're thinking that, you know what, I have the right tools, but you don't. And then some men will even turn to the pick, or they might even, start trying to brush it, trying to do something because they can see that, this ain't really working. So the pick is just really going to do exactly what it says. Pick through the situation. But you need to comb through hair. You can't pick it. But those of us, I'm saying African Americans, or people who have been deemed or associated with anything Afro, we've been forced to use these types of situations. I'm sorry, let me add the other one in here. So we've been forced for the past 400 years in America, this is what we have had to deal with, and we've been pushing this out. So now other people in the diaspora, they're using these too, because a lot of people take their cue from America. So if the black folks in America are using it, then it must be the bomb. No, it's not. It's not the bomb. It's all we've been having to deal with. Now, when you come into a hair salon or a barbershop, we have them too. So you have them at home, and then we have them in the hair salon and barbershop. So when you come in with hair like this, you're gonna get a visceral response like, oh, hell no. Why they come in with all their hair looking like that? They want me to comb that out. They don't want to pay for it. We got to charge to get all this combed out because it takes a lot of time. But if you have the right tools and the right product, it doesn't. So when you watch us on Tuesday, February the 9th at 1 o'clock, it's about an hour and 15-minute, event. And I want you guys to watch it and share it, because what we're going to be doing at these two schools, we're going to be changing history. We're going to be setting something new in place, a standard that no longer are we going to accept these people calling our hair textured, nappy, the crown, all these nice fancy words, which we do appreciate, okay? However, it's not going to do us any good if you're not going to give us the tools with the education on how to use them, and we want that education to be universal. We don't want it to be that you have to go to a black person to know how to comb this out. No more do we want it to be you have to go to a white person to get blonde hair. It's not true. All white hairstylists cannot blonde hair, you know, and all African American hairstylists cannot comb out hair. But there's this myth that you gotta go to the white girls for your blonde and you gotta go to the black people to get your hair combed out. We ain't even gonna add in cornrows, so on and so forth, okay? So these are the things that they are assigning to us culturally. No, that's not culturally, because all African Americans don't have the same culture. But we have been forced to accept these as our tools or our weapons of construction or destruction when it comes to caring for and styling and cutting hair. So, I mean, you got to make do with what you have. So now we have this wonderful partnership with Rev Air. Now, Rev Air did not invent this comb. Let me just make this clear, okay? There are other companies who make the comb, but I know from being a licensed professional, being educated, and specializing in trichology, that the comb is the culprit to 99.9% of every hair care problem barbers and cosmetologists see behind the chair in real life. That's why I always say real hair or real people in real life, okay? So we know that this is a problem because when they come in, the concerns about the length of the hair, the manageability, the shine, the thinningness, all this leads to one thing and one thing only: the comb or lack thereof. The combs in America are so wretchedly horrible. Do you know that there's a large community of people who don't even use a comb because they know I'd rather not use anything because these combs are pulling out my hair? That's really sad because we have distributors, we have comb manufacturers, we have brush makers, we have cosmetology schools, and we have barbering schools. They have not been able to address this. They haven't been able to address it because it's so sensitive. And it's sensitive because it's so racist and it's so marginalized. It's bad. It's just, I can't even find no other way to say it. That type of stuff is bad. And so what we are going to do is put the world of education, okay, for the beauty and barbers, because once we do it in America, now it's going to trickle down, and we want everybody in Cleveland to say, you know what, that happened in Cleveland, I watched it that day, you guys make it go viral, because they have not been on the ball about the fairness. You know, all these words, equity, equitable, all this, they want it in medicine, you know, they want it in mental health, they want it in, you know, our penal systems. They don't want it in hair. That's why we have problems with equity. That's why we have problems with our penal systems. That's why we have problems with our mental health. You want to know why? Because people here are looking jacked up. And when people don't look good, they don't feel good. And when they don't feel good, they do some very bad things. Okay? We know this to be true. We don't think of it that way, but it is very, very true. Women muling drugs trying to get some hair weave so they can be what? Liked. You know, people won't even go to an interview. Oh, I can't. I just can't. They won't interview well. You know, all types of stuff because they've been deemed a criminal. Did you see his hair? You know, what about that sports guy who caught the basketball team some nappy-headed hoes? You see what I'm saying? This has not been a good thing here. And so we know that we can fix this. So I'm going to be that outreach worker who dares. That's my tagline for my book, which, by the way, is available at my Amazon store or lwritebooks.com. Or you can come right here to the Reverend's Design Team and pick you up a copy today. Shameless plug. How about that, Aziza? Okay? And so the comb is going to be the deal breaker. The comb is going to be the deal breaker, and I want you guys to join us again on Tuesday, February the 9th, as we make history and we stop all of this nonsense and we go over this again, and we are inviting every single cosmetology and barbering school on the planet to come and check us out. You all are customers, and you have the means to help make this change, because my mentor Ivan Williams once told me the marketplace determines our success. So you guys are the ones who will say yay or nay. No more coming to the barber shop or the hair salon with your hair like this and getting that visceral, like, ew, really response. No more going home with the wrong comb. No more letting your hair go because you can't comb it. A lot of people are wearing their hair like this because they can't comb it. And then we see people coming in with lice. They have so much debris at the scalp. Their scalps are so tender. I mean, this is really, really bad. I'm not making this up. And so we have to offer some solutions to people who are doing that by force. Now you got some people, it's just, I'm just gonna rock my Maxwell. I ain't talking about them people. I'm talking about people who really are not combing their hair out because it hurts so bad. And they're seeing a lot of hair come out, and it's very, very scary for both men and women, male or female. It's really, really bad. The comb is available at myrevair.com. You just click on accessories and order you a comb, and it is available for sale here at the Reva's Design Team, and it's just $9. All right, and so I hope you guys have enjoyed, the go live. I hope you guys have enjoyed the platform. I'm here. I will be back, okay, to talk about this, every other day up until it's time for us to have the event. And when I come back, I'm going to crack open that book, and we are going to talk about who are the people who set the tone of education for licensed cosmetologists and barbers right here in the good old US of A. And so perhaps we'll start nudging them, and they'll be like, uh-oh, we've been caught on the carpet. Yes, you've been caught on the carpet. But don't fret. You know what your parents say? Are you part of the solution, or are you part of the problem? So this is about being a part of the solution. We don't want to beat up on the people. We just want them to know that we have come together. We have united with the support of Rev Air. Rev Air deserves all the credit. They really, really do, because without them, I don't have enough money to buy these combs to do the right tools and the right techniques. That's not a big burden to carry, okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna get back to work here. Thank you guys so much. Big ups, big ups, big ups to Rev Air. Big ups to La Barberia Hair Institute. I keep wanting to call it Barber College, but it's not. La Barberia Hair Institute. And of course, to Shaw High School Cosmetology Program, the Cardinals. We are going to do something wonderful. And I hope to see you guys on the Go Live. And please don't forget to share this video as well. And I will be putting this on my YouTube platform. So to all my YouTubers, I want you guys to do the same thing. Share, get some conversation going. Hey guys, are you aware? Did you know? You know what? She got a good point. Even if you disagree, okay, we need to get everybody involved. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. All right. Oh, and by the way, one last thing. Please, please, please check out my podcast. It's called What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, and it has been voted by FeedSpot as one of the top 25 hairstylist podcasts to listen to in 2021. And I'm gonna be starting to doing a lot of interviews on that platform. So I just leveled up my game, all right? Okay, guys, I'm signing out, and you know what I say when I'm always signing out, right? I'm talking about a whole lot of love, right? A whole lot of peace, and most certainly, a whole, let me comb that again in case y'all missed my Elvis, okay? Blam, okay? A whole lot of hair, all right? All this beautiful hair textures all over the world, okay? A whole lot of hair, all right? And if you ain't got no hair, don't want no hair, can't stand hair, as a matter of fact, in 2021, you can't grow it. And as a matter of fact, in 2021, you plan on cutting off your hair. You know what I say? Don't even worry about it. Just rub your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bald head. You want to know why? Because bald heads are beautiful too. Good night.